Think about the magic of that. Think about why strategy is a key. You know, what you get is that definition and lack of definition is what creates type. So type brings you the answer to get to the definition and the lack of definition. It's the way in, it's the way back out. It's all through the strategy. So when we look at this configuration, we've got a split definition, and we have a split definition, and in this split definition we have the throat connected via the spleen to a motor. We have an undefined sacral. This is not a generator or a manifesting generator. We have an undefined emotional system. There is no emotional authority to bring to strategy. What we have is a pure manifester. We have a pure manifester. 8% of the waking population, we have a pure manifester. And we have a manifester who manifests through the spleen. In other words, that the spleen is the only awareness that we have that has inner authority. You can call it body consciousness, you can call it a hunch, you can call it a gut feeling. This is our center of immune protection. This is our center of alertness. It is there to keep us alive. It is there to protect us. Now, this person being a manifester, we know that the strategy for this being as an adult is the strategy of informing. That this is somebody who needs to inform before they act, otherwise they're going to meet resistance. It's why I mentioned the fact that his books were banned. Here was somebody who was famous for creating resistance fields. As a manifester, the only protection he has in eliminating resistance will be his ability to inform. However, look at that design. This is a splenic manifester. And what that means is that this is somebody who operates spontaneously in the now. This is somebody who is always in the now. This is somebody who is always being spontaneous. Always. This is not somebody who can think about what they need to inform you of. And here lies a dilemma. If this being was to operate properly, they would honor their type, not their design. See, I was asked right away, Locke asked me the other day, well, what about these projected elements? You know, here we have a projected mental field. Yes, it's in the design, but it has nothing to do with following the strategy of type. The type is built out of the throat going down to the root. If you honor that type, that is for him, his only truth is what he says and does in the now. It's his only truth. If spontaneously he informs somebody, in the now, it's perfect, it's healthy, it's correct. But human beings are sucked deep into the maya of the mental plane. Everything's a mind game. Everything is a mind decision. Everything is a mind choice. Everything is a mind dilemma. Everybody gives their mind inner authority. It does not have any. But this person has a defined mind that's full of doubt, a defined mind trying to make sense out of the past, a defined mind trying to come up with an opinion why they're doubtful about the past. And this person, because there is a split, doesn't get this mind to the throat. They don't. And they end up here in the mind saying, I want to say this, I want to say that, I want to say this, I want to say that, and it doesn't come out. It doesn't come out. And at the moment that the mind gets into the movie is the moment that they stop being healthy. Because the only thing that I can tell this person is, you have to be an absolute existentialist. And whenever I meet configurations like this, I always tell them the truth. The gods have really given you a test, baby. Because if you're not surrendered, you're not going to be able to be totally spontaneous, and your life's going to be a drag. See, this person can never know what they're going to think and can never make it up. They can never write the script. They can never go into a situation and think that their mind is telling them and has told them what is correct for them to do in that situation. This is a spontaneous manifester. a spontaneous manifester. What they say in the moment, what they do in the moment is correct for them. And when they inform in the moment, it is correct for them. And then they will not deal with resistance in their life. And in the moment that they are doing that, the projected element in them, that'll come alive. They'll have their opportunity to get it out. But you see, as long as this being is trying to figure out what to do with their life from that mind, they are always going to struggle with who they really are. And they will get lost in the conditioning of all those open centers. Here is somebody that was here to be a spontaneous being. A spontaneous being, right there, in the moment. And a spontaneous being without identity, without willpower, without emotions, cool, without fixed sexuality. Just there, vibrating, watching, doing its thing. Perfect. You can't get there until you follow your strategy. And as long as you don't follow your strategy, the other elements in your design do not fall into place. And if you follow your strategy, if he follows his strategy of spontaneously being, he will meet the right connections. He will make the right answer at the right moment. You know what it's like for him? Somebody has asked him something, and he's got this dilemma going on in his mind. He's sleepless all night. He thinks about it. He processes it. He works it through. I'm going to say this. They're going to say that. No, that doesn't work. Okay, I'm going to say this, and then they're going to say that. Right. Okay, this is the way it's going to work. Okay, now I know what to do. Now I know exactly what to say. I got the whole thing written up here in my head. Everything's going to be terrific. They get into the room, and the person says, "How are you?" And out of their spontaneous being comes a totally new conversation. They may not even talk about what they sat up all night thinking about. You know, you want to tell somebody that you hate them and you think they're terrible and they're horrible shits and they did awful things to you, and then you walk up to them and say, "Let's go out for dinner." You know what kind of a torment that is? What kind of inner conflict that brings into a human being's life? This human being has to honor what they say and what they do in the now because that's them. Doesn't mean it's you, it's them. It's their strategy in life. They're here to be spontaneous and they're here to inform in that. Less resistance. Be yourself. Speak your truth. Do what is right for you to do.